Hey, this is Jack, and this video is something a little different. This video is a tribute to the life of Olivia Newton John, who passed away yesterday. I wanted to do this video because the movie has always had a fond place in my heart. I watched it a lot in childhood. I've also watched it several times in adulthood. And I thought I'd just share a few of my favorite bits from that as a kind of tribute to her artistic life. She was also a singer. I didn't connect with that part of her life. I connected with the movie making part of her life, which is probably what seared her into popular consciousness more. I'm going to start off by sharing with you, if I can bring this up here. I think I can. So this is Summer Nights, Summer Lovin'. This song actually has a particularly fond place in my heart because growing up at high school, we had to do a thing called the house shout. So we had 7 houses, and each house, so this is like a sort of a vertical of boys from 11 to 18, eventually girls when we had girls in the 6th form and then in the whole school. But at this time, mostly boys. You would get on stage during September. So this was kind of always the first thing as you went back in the school years, you had to prepare a song collectively. And we only won the house shout twice in 7 years. And one of the years we won it, we were singing this song. So let's play this and enjoy it.
Hey, I want to hear about what Danny did at the beach.
Okay, so super brief bit of context. So this is, John Travolta is Danny Zuko. He has met Olivia Newton John, Sandy, at the beach in LA. She's well, they had to actually rewrite the script for this. So meaning she's British born, but she grew up mostly in Australia. She has an Australian accent, so they had to kind of change the script to accommodate that. So the story is that her family have spent the summer in LA, but then they've decided to stay on. But these guys didn't know that at the time of their having, like, they had a summer romance and they thought it was kind of ending. And then it's turned up they're actually now back in the same high school. But neither of them knows that yet. This is day one, back after summer.
Come on, Danny. You got her drawers, right? Yeah. Come on. Tell us about that girl.
What did you do?
Drawers.
Oh, I spent most of it at the beach. I met a boy there.
Hauled your cookies all the way to the beach for some guy?
He was sort of special.
There ain't no such
So these are the pink ladies.
It was really romantic.
And these are the T-Birds. I love their stash. Like, I love what they wear.
Summer loving happened so fast.
I met a girl crazy for me.
Met a boy cutest for me.
Summer day.
This, by the way, was the highest grossing musical of all time at the time. I love this dance. I want to learn how to do this. I should learn how to do this. I love the kind of veiled aggressiveness. Got my suit down. So this is it's an interesting example of, like, contrasting stories and what they focus on. So Danny's going to focus more on the physical, sexual side of the connection, and she's going to focus more on the feelings of romance. What a terrible way of talking about romantic advances. I guess this is supposedly 1958, made in the late... when would this be? She was 28. This is made, I think, in the late 70s. Look at that technique. To be able to do the shuffle and the hair. Man.
He got friendly, holding my hand.
Well, she got friendly down in the sand.
He was sweet, just turned 18.
He was sweet. And she was good. Oh gosh, this is like... It's kind of tragic, but it's pointing to something which is also probably a universal partial truth. So, meaning, men and women experience romance a bit differently, or certainly probably the way they talk about it to their friends. Sunny there.
That's where it ends.
So I told her,
Moving us through the emotions, getting poignant.
Then we made our true love vow.
wonder why she's doing.
We're going to get to this famous kind of bringing the voices together.
Summer dreams ripped at seams, but
Wait for it.
When you need
Boom.
high quality.
So what I love about this, that last bit, whenever you're on the dance floor and that comes on, you have like full permission to just go for it. Doesn't really matter if it's in tune, and you just try and hold it as long as you can, like that Summer Nights, and just go for it. I've been in many a dance off on a dance floor over the years when this song has come on. All right, so I want to share something else here. So let me see if I can bring that one up for you. All right, so I think this is probably my favorite song of the whole thing. Now, what I want you to pay attention to, so in the last scene, you can kind of see Danny's got a little bit more of like a cool guy, bad boy sort of thing going on, which he emphasizes even more when they come back into contact, because he doesn't want to like lose face in front of his friends, because he actually does have feelings for this woman, but he's trying to play it cool and like, I don't care about her, and he's basically minimizing it, and she feels incredibly hurt, kind of understandably, because there is something real between them, or at least she thought so. And so the movie kind of unfolds, and sorry if I'm telling you things you already know. She goes off with the sort of more like regular kind of stable, nice guy, football playing guy, Tom. Then Danny realizes he wants to kind of get her back, so he gets into like track, and it kind of works, but then he kind of makes a move on her when they're do you remember the scene in the they're in the drive-in movie theater, and he's kind of like putting his hand over her shoulder and starting to like touch her, and she's not into it, so she kind of pushes back. Then they come back together for like the prom dance, and the thing is being scored. It's like, who's it? Vince Fontaine is the kind of like, I guess, well-known presenter person, and then just as the dance comes to the end, unfortunately, his rival and his rival's date, Cha-Cha, kind of cuts in, and they take Sandy out, and then so he ends the dance with her, but he doesn't really realize what's happened, and he can't really do much about it. So it's sort of meant to be this great moment, then it's not. So then we get to this, which is the final scene of the movie, and they've both made changes to accommodate each other, which is kind of an interesting thing from the perspective of a relationship, right? How much do I change who I am or negotiate who I am in order to be in better rapport with you? Is that authentic? What are the bounds of my authenticity? I mean, these are real questions. These are real questions that I've struggled with, still, feel into. Danny is going to be wearing a cardigan here. So Danny's kind of, what would they call this? I think they call it the Letterman. I don't know much about how American high school works, but Danny's kind of toned it down, right? He's becoming a little bit more of like the straight and narrow, the kind of guy that you could bring home to your parents. And Sandy, who was the kind of nice girl, a little bit kind of buttoned up and square, has let her hair down. She's actually frizzed her hair up, you'll see, and she's now wearing all leathers. So for any of us, which is all of us probably, who have personas, right? So these personas, nice guy, nice girl, or bad boy, bad girl, and there's so many others. One of the things that you can practice in order to relax kind of being hypnotized into a persona that keeps you unconscious, right? So if you can only be a nice boy or a nice girl, or if you can only be a rebel, or if you can only be a bad boy or a bad girl, you're limiting yourself. You probably learned how to do that because it was, appreciated, approved of, cool, what you needed to do, survive childhood, etc. But then it really limits your behavior, right? So actually, the move that they're making here is a really good move to make for most of us, right? Practicing being almost like the opposite archetype, right? To put it in kind of like a Jungian sense, you're going to take something that's probably lurking in your shadows. So I think this is actually authentic, right? I mean, this is a movie, so I'm obviously projecting into it. But it turns out that Olivia Newton John does have this more kind of provocative, sexy side. And interestingly, doing this last scene that we'll share now changed the direction of her musical career. So she actually became more kind of risque and sexy in the music that she put out. Like Physical, I think, is the song that's probably the example of that. Go check that out if you haven't seen it. I mean, it's very, 80s in the kind of aerobic gear that everyone's wearing. But anyway, all that to say, interestingly, that someone through a movie trying on the different persona in the final scene actually has a wake-up call in real life. That's how powerful some of this stuff can be. So with all that said, let's get into You're the One That I Want.
Tell me about it,
I got chills, they're multiplying, and I'm losing control.
Some awesome John Travolta moves.
The power you're supplying, it's electrifying.
That's Marty. She's kind of like the cool one giving the advice.
You better shape up, 'cause I need a man. And my heart is set on you.
And what a common experience, right? My heart's set on you, but you need to shape up. I think this is why this was partly successful, because it captures something that's essential in relating. I think they do this so well. I love these fairground rides. Danger ahead.
With affection, you're too shy to convey. Meditate my direction.
Meditate my direction.
You need a man
who can keep me satisfied.
I better shape up if I'm gonna prove
that my faith is justified.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm sure deep down inside. Oh, gosh. This also became the highest grossing movie ever at the time in the UK, across all genres. On a budget of $6 million, it grossed eventually $366 million. So it's a huge commercial success. And here's a quick quiz question. There's a prequel that they're due to be having coming out. Do you know what the name is? If you do, or want to guess, leave me in the comments. Yeah, props to all these side dancers as well, backing dancers, I guess, even though they're in the foreground. They're going for it. Oh, that was the Shake Shack. Oh, yeah. That's Marty and Sonny. Oh, I'm going to stop it there. So I hope I'm not the only one that's enjoying this. I guess if you're still watching it, maybe you are. I just, there's a fond place in my heart for this movie. So let's just share quickly as I come back on the main screen here what Olivia Newton John was up to more latterly. So she had a 30-year fight with cancer, and that was obviously, a hugely informing experience for her, and she devoted time and attention. She talked about a world beyond cancer. That was kind of like her hope and prayer. And as such, she set up the Olivia Newton John Foundation Beyond Cancer. And one of the things that you might be interested in is that she was getting really curious at the intersection of cancer and plant medicine. Plant medicine, as you may know, is, it's kind of going through a big rise in terms of research, interest, and legitimacy. My dream is that we will realize a world beyond cancer. I honestly believe we can do it. Dame Olivia Newton John, the cute dog there. Independent charity sponsoring global research into plant medicine for cancer, committed to realizing a world beyond cancer. So one of the things she's actually been looking into, and I think used herself, is cannabis. So she's talking here about different cannabinoids and some of their properties as, for example, inhibitors. So it might be something that you're interested to check out. I will actually just put up here the place that you can go to. I'll link this below. So if you click from the foundation, actually brings you through to this CAF, Charities Aid Foundation America. They're sort of like the back office for a lot of charities to allow them to, for example, process donations. So I will leave this link beneath this video. If you want to donate to the Olivia Newton John Foundation Fund, you can make a single and or recurring gift. Looks pretty easy to do. So a couple more quiz questions for you. So this film on its opening weekend, Grease, it didn't rank #1. It ranked #2. What film did rank #1? This is the late 70s. Might have even been 78, possibly. This was Paramount's second highest grossing movie. Behind which movie? Leave me a comment. And as I asked you, what is the prequel that is currently in development? So if you want to guess or have an answer to any of those, hit me up in the comments. I'm also curious if you've watched this movie, liked this movie, if you've known about Olivia Newton John's life, this on-stage thing with her as Sandy and John Travolta as Danny. John Travolta left her. He kind of led the tribute messages yesterday, saying that he would love her forever, always your Danny, which I thought was kind of cute. So, yeah, it's a sad day. I hope that her work continues through the foundation. I'm sure that it will. If you go over to her Instagram, there are also some photos posted by her daughter. Yeah, I just wanted to share a little bit today. I love that movie. It's always going to have a place in my heart. And thanks for sharing this video with me. I'll be with you soon, as always. I'm Jack.